is up? It is Rocky Tiger coming at you with, I think it's episode 22 on the BeyondVanilla server, and I have been really busy off camera the last couple of days, and I think I might as well just show you why. Look at my inventory. Look at it. If you cannot tell, it's looking a little empty, particularly over here. There is no extra food, no buckets, and most notably, no tridents. I'm now on Fortune Finder 2, Silky Smoothness 2, Swordy Mix Swordfish, Choppy, and Diggy. I don't think I actually had named my axe or my shovel before. And, oh, actually I think my shovel was sub-shovel to Rocky, but now it's Diggy. I died. And I lost everything because I foolishly was helping someone build a ridiculous wither skeleton farm in the nether. Well, it's not foolish to help, it was foolish to keep all of my good stuff equipped while I was flying around over a lava lake, which I promptly crashed into and died and lost just about everything that I owned, all of my best gear. So I've been pretty busy grinding my way back up to get all of my stuff back. But I've made some modifications and improvements, a couple of different things here and there. Most notably is I got this guy here, which it's not the best efficiency enchantment ever, but I needed efficiency, so I got an efficiency 2 villager. Also, the rest of my villagers, my farmers in particular, are kind of broken, and in a good way, though. Like, they're broken, but I'm not complaining about it. My farmers never stop refreshing their trades. Quite literally, they never stop. I can trade between my I have three master farmers with melons and pumpkins, basically to the end of the world. I could trade for them or trade with them forever, and because I could trade with them forever, I can get ridiculous amounts of emeralds really, really quickly, provided that I have enough stuff to trade. Mainly being melons and pumpkins. Those are the two things that are the easiest to auto farm, so that's what I've been focusing on. However, this little melon and pumpkin farm, which I know you can already tell, this is one of the least efficient designs that I could possibly have, but it's also one of the simplest designs. It's 4 layers, 2 layers of melons, 2 layers of pumpkins, and as you can see, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plants on each of those rows. That's just not going to cut it for the That was silly. For the ridiculous amount of trading that we can do. So I decided to go a little bit overboard and build a much larger version of the same inefficient farm, because this is the easiest thing to throw up. But in this case, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on each row. So we've got 8 plants on each row, because that's the maximum for the water stream to carry down into the hole. And there are 3 rows of each, so we've got 24, 48, and then actually we only have 24 melons so far because I haven't gotten to finishing that. But, you know, it's just this very simple observer piston pusher design, and it's been working like a champ. Let's see, I've already emptied it a couple times, and yeah, it's just, as long as I'm here in my base, this thing is going to be working amazingly. And that's where I put my ender chest. I was wondering where I'd left that. Nothing important that I've left down here. Pumpkins. See, it's not super efficient. The stuff can get knocked out of the water streams or land in places where it's not supposed to, but the lossage I can handle because I'm just brute forcing it. That's a simple fact of the matter. Could I increase the efficiency by using a different design? Abso-freaking-lutely. Do I really care? No. Why? Because it's working for what I need, and I'm not really that bothered by the lack of efficiency. So yeah, we died, and we had to get all of our stuff back. So that's what I've been doing, which is why nothing has been done and why I haven't actually filmed over the last 2 days. But that all changes today. Obviously, we are now flying around my base, and I think it is time to get started on working out what sort of design I want to use for the Northgard Castle. And I've got some ideas that I think are going to be pretty cool, but I need to do a little bit of teardown work over here first and kind of change up the way that this hill looks just a bit, mainly by removing everything down to about this level that I'm standing on right here. So everything this level and higher is going to get torn down. That's a lot of dirt that I don't want to lose, so we're going to grab ourselves a shulker, pop all of this delicious stone in there. That's going to be our foundation, and we're just going to get to demolishing all of this, and I will be with you in a few minutes or however long it takes me to rip all this stuff down. One of the features that's over here that I actually kind of like is this waterfall type of dealio, this natural bridge thing. I think I've actually flown through it a couple times, or at least once in a previous episode, and I think it's a neat feature to have in this area. I just been trying to figure out what the best way is that I could try and incorporate it, and I think the unfortunate answer, at least in terms of incorporating that sort of idea naturally, is that I'm not going to be able to. So we're just going to find that water source, which is right here, and we'll plug it up, and we'll try and remember to keep a water source there once we have built most of the castle kind of grounds first. But I don't really know how much a water source really makes a whole lot of sense up here in a frozen, what actually is this one even called? Snowy Mountains biome that I'm technically in right now, just because it would be frozen, maybe? I mean, it is Snowy Mountains, so maybe it's like a snowy Nordic tundra stream. I mean, flowing water doesn't freeze for a reason, but we'll see. The rest of this is looking pretty good, except for right here. We'll kind of rip this down real quick. I moved a beacon over here because I was getting tired of digging out stone without haste 2. Once you go beacons, you never go back. So the basic design is going to be a different type of castle. It's still going to be a castle, I guess. It's still going to be a fortress. I'm not really sure if you call it a castle or if you'd call it more of a longhouse style, but it is going to be quite a different type of castle than your typical Minecraft castle that you would see in most other medieval style builds. What I'm thinking is it's going to have a big hall somewhere. I don't know if it's going to be here or if it's going to be over here, where it's going to be kind of a dragon reach from Skyrim sort of feel to it. Just a very large open hall that's probably going to actually have an open section at one end. Maybe. I'm not entirely certain. I don't want to do too much glass because I don't think that'll work, so I think maybe just have it overlooking here with maybe a porch type of deal. Like I know Dragon Reach has the deck that kind of comes out at a kind of a semicircle shape, so I might do something like that and then have support structures underneath it, and then have some other smaller structures around, like maybe smaller kind of outbuildings. I also don't know if I want to have the castle walled off on its own. I'm kind of leaning towards not. I think that will... I think those are the same pillagers as the other day. They seem to be multiplying. I think I'm going to not have it be walled off. I think what's going to happen is that there's going to be the main path coming up to the castle is going to be maybe right here, although I might push this whole thing back. I think I will fill this with a little bit more dirt right here, terraform it a little bit, extend this hill out so that it still keeps this kind of shape, because I like this U kind of shape, but I want the hall, the front of the hall, to kind of have the stairs kind of lead up to it. I don't want them leading past it. I want the main entrance to be kind of in line with where the stairs or where the path up the hill is going to end. So I think that this U shape is actually going to come right here. The front of the hall will probably be somewhere right around there, and I think I'll just push this whole thing back a little bit. Yeah, it'll make sense in my head. It makes sense in my head. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish terraforming this area. We're going to knock down this section as well, and then we're going to start building a foundation so that we can build the rest of the castle. Okie doke. Oh, looks like, I missed the whole section. I don't know how. I was about to say, all right, looks like we've got the foundation done, but then, just kidding. We've missed a sizable section somehow. Now we've got the foundation done, and it is looking pretty bland, to be frank. Just a whole lot of stone. But that's okay, because it's just a foundation. It's not like it's going to be looking like just plain old stone forever. Let's see. Put our stone back up in here. What we're going to do now is we're going to go and grab ourselves some cobblestone, because I think cobblestone is going to make for a more interesting base of the build rather than just the smooth stone or stone bricks. So let's grab, you know what, let's just grab, I think that's about 9 stacks of cobble, and let's see how much spruce wood we've got. Tilting myself here, not a ton of spruce in there. I thought I had a ton of spruce saved up somewhere. It seems like I'm mistaken, so let's do a quick little bit of chopping, and then we'll get back over to building. Alright, 3 and a bit stacks of spruce collected. This looks a little bit straight over here, so that's probably going to get changed in the future. Just these lines, I kind of want it to be a little bit more tapered. But regardless, we've got our spruce collected, which is good. Now we can get to making the outline of this particular build, and I'm coming to a point now where I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want this to look. Now I've got all of this extra space here, so I'm going to say that's at least 3 blocks of space of this hill. So I think that this whole section here is going to get expanded out to at least match up with all of this. The front of the big Mead Hall, I think, is going to go somewhere about here, so it's not going to quite line up with the stairs, at least not where those are. Maybe I'll extend this out a little bit more, but I think we're going to put it, we'll say, right about here. And now comes the problem of how wide do I want it to be, and do I want it to be an even or an odd number in terms of its width. So if I do it as an even number, then that means that the roof will be a little bit different. I won't be able to have it come to just a single tapered point, and it also means that the doors will have to be a little bit different as well. But I've got I think a solution for that, and I could have sworn it was nighttime. This is what happens when you have these shaders on. It makes it a little bit challenging to tell when it's actually dark. So I want it to be wide enough. I don't want it to feel like it's not wide enough to be the structure that it is, and I'm kind of concerned about this part being wide enough. So I think this whole plan is going to have to get pushed even further off this way than it was already, because we definitely want it wide enough, but we also want it big enough so that we can either have 2 doors and like a French door style, or we want it wide enough so that we can do maybe have the whole, make it look like it's a bigger door when in reality it's just the one door in the middle that actually opens. I like the actual French doors, so I think that's what we're going to go with. So we're going to pop down, I think, the one here, and let's see. We're just going to alternate. So let's put all this cobble down, because this is going to be the kind of outer limits of it, and I think this is going to be wide enough for what we want for this big Mead Hall. I'm not 100% certain. I really need to get myself some ender pearls as well. I think that should be plenty wide enough, and again, it's going to have to get extended. The foundation's going to have to get extended quite a bit, but I think this is going to be perfect for what we want it to look like. So it's 17 blocks wide, which should be plenty big enough looking at it. I think standing inside of it, this is going to be plenty wide enough, and then this should be the dead center point. So I think we'll get away with having the door be these 3. Even though I really like having double doors, I think this is going to end up looking better in the long run. I can make kind of a small arched doorway that I think will look better than having just the double doors, just because I think the roof is going to need to have the even ones. Again, we're learning as builders here, so we're just going to make it as simple as possible, and we're going to start popping down all of our other blocks. Now, this is already becoming problematic, so I'm just going to get back to you guys once I've actually gotten the base of the Mead Hall completed. Okay, all right. I feel better now. All right, no more trying to figure this whole thing out. I think I've got it pretty squared away. So we've got 17 by 27 is the proportions for this. I think that's going to end up looking pretty decent. Standing in it, I think it'll work out just fine. It's proportionate. It's not going to be a massive build compared to some other monster castles and other structures that I've seen. But in terms of this particular structure and the town here, I think that this whole castle type of complex is certainly going to be the largest complex that exists within the town of Northgard. So we've got the basic outline for the Mead Hall. That's going to be right here. So we're going to build that up. It's going to be a fairly tall structure because we want it to kind of have almost a cathedral type of look to it. And then we're also going to build up another couple of structures, maybe another couple houses or tower, something like that over on this section. And then actually, based on what I'm looking at, we've got this taller section over here that I didn't knock down. So I think I might actually flatten this out a little bit by adding some blocks to kind of make this all one uniform height, and then we'll actually add another house type of structure up here. So let's just give ourselves a nice platform to work with. And I think this will be a pretty fun extra build that'll be part of this entire complex. Now, I'm not sure exactly what it's going to look like. I haven't figured out a floor plan for half the stuff over here. These Nordic houses tend to have relatively simple floor plans, very, very square and rectangular in their designs. Nothing too terribly fancy, lots of different crosses and stuff in place. So let's get rid of this one. So maybe another structure right up here would also look kind of cool. We could have a bridge coming off. Although I'm not good at doing diagonal bridges, but I'll figure something out and we can build another structure up here. Maybe I'll have a bridge kind of going down or coming out and then up here. It'll be interesting. I'll figure it out. We'll figure something out maybe sooner rather than later. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and lay out a couple of the other buildings that are going to be up in this section. And that way we can kind of get an overall feel for what this complex is going to look like. Alright, so this is kind of what I'm thinking so far. It's definitely subject to change greatly. So we have the big Mead Hall, and then we're going to have kind of a watchtower thing going on right here. This is going to be an open courtyard that I think I'm going to put a fountain in. I haven't quite decided yet, but I'm feeling a fountain or something in this area. This hill part's going to get pushed back even further because it's obviously doesn't have the sort of entrance that I want. With the entrance at the Mead Hall is going to be right here. It's going to be a fairly tall structure, and I think it's going to look really cool when it's done. And there's going to be the kind of outdoor porch area. Then we haven't done anything with this upper section here. I'm kind of thinking maybe like a little shrine or a temple of some sort. Hi. Please don't shoot me. Oh geez, that's a lot of them. Holy cow. Yikes. So we're going to have a bridge that's going to come up over here. I think I will try and do a diagonal bridge. I'm not sure how that's going to turn out, but we'll see. There'll be another smaller building that I think is going to be right here, just a typical small Viking-style house, and then a larger house where the Lord of Northgard, yours truly, may decide to take up residence. I don't really know. I really like my manor house that's over there, which is actually going to be a larger house than any of the houses that are built over here. This one's probably going to be 2 stories. The rest are probably going to be a single story. But, you know, we'll get to it when we get to it. So, back to the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful replay mod. For today's time-lapse build, I wanted to talk about an idea I had for another Minecraft series. It was essentially taking the old-school Minecraft ultra-hardcore Hunger Games style, but applying a custom map to the idea. So instead of just doing a randomly generated world, I would go into World Painter, create an actual arena type of map, and import that into Minecraft for the other BeyondVanilla Beyonders to play on. I really wanted to see, because that's most of what my audience here is on YouTube, what you all think about that idea. Would you guys be interested in playing on that sort of map if I was able to create some really unique terrain, really cool world that we could all play in and try and murder each other to death in? I think it would be a lot of fun and maybe something that could be a really interesting short series to play on. Go ahead, leave the comments here, or if you're a Beyonder on Discord, you could go ahead and comment there. If you're not on either the BeyondVanilla server or on our Discord and would like to be interested in playing that sort of map or that sort of game, go ahead and leave a comment here as well, and I'd love to get your opinions on it and start working on that as a potential additional game mode and a YouTube series. Alright, so we've gotten one half of the roof more or less done, at least the superstructure of it, and we've basically turned it into a mob spawner, and I'm struggling to switch myself around. Geez, that was... Yeah, let's drop some torches down here, and try and remember next time that when we cover up a whole lot of area, you don't get skylight anymore. So let's just torch spam this real quick, make sure that we don't have any more zombies come in and try and kill us. Now this is probably not what the roof is gonna look like in the end. I kind of want to try and mix and match a little bit of different, maybe some slabs and maybe some other colors of stairs in here, because as it is, it's kind of boring from the outside. Let's just be real. And I don't think I just want to do this design at the end. I'm gonna look and see if I can figure out how to make kind of like a dragon head at the end, or maybe a different shape just to differentiate it, make it a little bit fancier. For right now, what we're going to do is we're going to start working on some of the outside, because as I was flying around and as, putting all the different slabs and stairs and everything down, I realized that the outside looks really horrendous. It's just a box. So we're going to at least start the process of kind of getting the same and the correct feel for the outside, just to mix it up and match it up. And right now it kind of looks like the Pantheon? I don't know what it's called. I can't pronounce things. So we're going to get some blocks placed or some stairs placed around the outside of it, just to give it some more depth, because as it is right now, it looks horrendously boring. I'm liking it so far for the most part. I think it's going to be a really cool build when it's done. It's definitely a large build, and there's a couple of other things that I really need to figure out how I want to do. There's going to be a fire pit here in the center, so probably right about here. I'm going to come out 2, 1, and like this. And I think there's going to be a very large fire pit going on in here. I'm not certain if I just want to put a whole lot of campfires down here in the middle, or maybe just right here in the very middle section, but it's going to be kind of looking like that. And then also there's going to be support pillars, and there's going to be at least 3 support pillars on each side. That'll probably be about here, which is the 3rd block in. And so it's 1, 2, 3. So it's the 3rd block in, and then the 3rd row of cobblestone in, and then the dead center, I think, would be about there, which is 2 in between there, and that's actually 3 in between there. So it's an uneven number, where if it's an uneven number, I actually would want it to be more towards the back. For some reason, I think that would look better. So there'll be some pillars and supports over here. And so we're going to go 3rd one, 1, 2, 3. this row, so 1, 2, and 3, and then the third one here. And so these will come up and have some kind of decorative struts as well going across the center. So right now we're just going to put these stone blocks here as place markers to kind of get a feel for where those are all going to be. Make sure they're pretty centered and even. I think they are. Those are all in a row. These are all in a row. It looks a little off mainly because, well, obviously there's only half a roof. So we need to do a lot more tree chopping, and that's literally my least favorite thing to do. So I might actually just go and see if the tree store at Spawn has any spruce wood in stock, and I might just buy it out so that I don't have to do any tree chopping for a little bit. But these are going to come up across the center, and they're going to kind of have some decorative struts towards the center, and then kind of meet at a kind of an arch across the top. And they're also obviously going to go all the way up to the roof just to add some kind of structural support and to make the roof and the ceiling look a little bit less bare. And then I think there's also going to be a couple of chandelier kind of things hanging. There'll be kind of a throne-ish thing right around here, and then the doors leading out to the porch will either be directly behind the throne, which the throne will be in line, almost in line with those, just one block back. So we'll have a throne kind of thing going on here, and the door's either going to be right there or pushed off to the side here. And I haven't quite decided what yet. I'm leaning towards having the 2 doors off to the side. I think that will look a little bit better. Yeah, I think that'll end up being what I end up doing. There's a lot of stuff that's going to have to get built for this build to be complete. It's going to take a little bit of time. And time is unfortunately something that I don't have a whole heck of a lot of. I wish I had more time. I don't think everyone wishes that they had more time. But does everyone wish that they had more time to play Minecraft? That's the question. And the answer is probably yes, because who on earth would not want to play Minecraft? But with all of that, that is all the time that I have for today. If you've watched the video, thank you very much. This is one of the more boring episodes of BeyondVanilla that I think that I've put out. But, you know, these sort of projects are sometimes the fun ones, and it takes a lot of work to put these sort of builds together. So I really appreciate anyone who's actually stuck around and watched this video up to this point. I love making Minecraft videos. I didn't know how much I would like it. I used to vlog a whole lot, and I liked making those videos. There are monsters nearby, and I have no rockets. That's terrifying. I think it's a spider. Yep. Alright, there we go. Oh no. Oh no! He's coming to get me! Ah! Go away! Okay. I didn't know. Where was I? Where was I? I used to vlog a lot, so I'm used to making videos, and I love making videos for vlogging, but my life really wasn't that exciting, to be frank. Minecraft videos are a lot of fun. There's always something to do, so there's always content that you can create for these, and I had no idea how much fun it would really be and how much I would really enjoy making these videos. So any subscribers or comments or anything at all that I get, you have no idea how much it means to me. I really appreciate any and all support that I get on this channel. But again, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you really like the video, go ahead and subscribe. New videos on the BeyondVanilla server every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. With all of that, this is Rocky Tiger, flying off as high as he can possibly go. And I will see you all next time.